The TV show Severance is based in an alternate history, and I want to go over all of the clues and evidence of this. Specifically, how Lumon plays a role in this alternate history, and what their ultimate plans are, and where they are trying to take humanity to. In Season 1, Mark Scout's driver's license shows that he was born in the year 1978 and that his license will expire in 2020. This puts the show in the ballpark of our current year. However, there are a lot of clues that many things are completely different than our current timeline. The creator of the show, Dan Erickson, did confirm that the timeline is vaguely based around the same time as us. He does say that it has been about 10 years since the technology of Severance was invented. However, it's not just 10 years in the future from us, and the actual timeline is a bit more vague. The vagueness of the timeline is a key component of the TV show, making it difficult to pin down exactly when and where things are taking place. Let's go over some of the clues that the TV show gives us and see exactly what is going on. The number of countries mentioned that Lumon operates in is 206. However, there are only 195 recognized countries in our current timeline. There is no mention of what these additional countries are, and to make things even more confusing, the main story takes place in a fictional state abbreviated as PE. However, based off of the long history of Lumon, I would think that this is probably somewhere in the New England area. The technology of the Severance timeline is pretty off from what we are used to seeing. There is a large amount of retrofuturism technology used at Lumon. On the outside world, there is modern technology such as cell phones and televisions. However, the brain implants that allow Severance is probably 10 to 15 years ahead of where we are currently at. As well, the technology in the elevator can detect any type of a symbol on a person, even hidden symbols and messages. We do not know exactly how the elevator technology works, but it does show that Lumon has extremely advanced surveillance technology, more advanced than anything that we currently have. However, all of the cars that we see driving around look like they are more from the 1990s, showing that car technology in the Severance timeline is not as advanced as car technology in our current timeline. As well, the technology in Lumon is probably outdated on purpose for control reasons. But the mismatched feel even on the outside world shows that the technologies have advanced at different speeds than our current timeline. This is probably because the technologies that Lumon is more interested in, such as mind control technology, has advanced at a higher speed, and other things such as cars has fallen behind because it's probably not a priority of the company. In our current world, it is usually whatever technology that the military is most interested in that gets advanced the quickest. This was a standard especially during the Cold War, when it was often the military that was pushing technology into the future. However, in the timeline of Severance, it is the corporations, especially Lumon, that is pushing the technology forward, so it's only going to push in areas that they are specifically interested in. The Severance timeline has been completely decimated by corporate capture, to the level that is far beyond anything that we have seen in our world. We do see this in the dystopian, sterilizing look of buildings and logos. A world where happiness is only surface level, and the disparity between the corporate leaders and the average person is vast. So exactly when did the Severance timeline split from ours and start to drift into the dystopian world that it is? The exact year of this is 1865, when Lumon Industries was founded by Kier Eagan, whose descendants still run it today. It started as a topical salve business selling medical ointments and has grown into a biotechnology company that has a wide range of products that it creates and sells. From making their own doors to the coffee in their offices, there isn't really much that they don't create on their own. It's no coincidence that Lumon was founded in 1865. This is the year that the American Civil War ended and slavery was abolished. Furthermore, the Lumon Company started as a salve business, an obvious play on the word slave. This is probably hints that Kier Eagan, the creator of Lumon, had a hidden past in slavery before 1865. and he simply just rebranded his company and adopted to the changing times. Going with the sinister control that Lumon is trying to gain over the working class, this would definitely fit the timeline. Most likely, all links that they had to slavery was whitewashed or taken out of the history books entirely. But that is just circumstantial evidence, so take it with a pinch of salt. Kier Eagan would expand his company Lumon throughout his entire lifetime. Before his death in 1939, he would write the Four Appendices, which was essentially Lumon's version of a Bible and became a huge guiding force for the company even to this day. Not only that, but it would also immortalize his image and his legacy with a series of stories and philosophical lessons. He also came up with the theory of the four tempers. He did believe that four emotional elements made up a person's soul, and these four tempers are woe, frolic, dread, and malice. He believed that you could understand a person through how much of a balance they had between these four tempers. And he believed that only through the 9 Lumon principles could a person balance out and overcome the four tempers, and become, as he would state, controlled or tamed. The legacy of his writings are all over Lumon. Whether it's MDR, Severance, cloning, mind control, and all other things at Lumon, you can see the influence of his writings and teachings. And it's very clear that the point of his writings was not to give the world some type of greater philosophy, but it was indeed to exert his power and control even beyond death. Behind the fake smiles, the painted history, Lumon has a rotten center, and it is all about control and power. The world has progressed to a point that it is in a corporate-controlled dystopian future, and we only get small details about the broader world, but it is no doubt a very bleak place. But what do you think? Please give me your thoughts and have a wonderful day.